see, but she's right there. I feel you. Because without her, it will not be possible too. And she empowered me a lot. So I want to thank her for helping me.
Big
And
up
of
yourself,
course, teacher Chris, you know her. Yeah.
Yeah, big up.
And yeah, and of course, thanks and welcome this queen in front of me, the beautiful Kimiko. So I want to thank you for participate at this talk today.
My pleasure.
All right. So how it's gonna happen? So you know also Kimiko how it's gonna work. The 3 questions that I have sent to the people, I'm gonna read them, okay, and make a resume of every answer. As soon as I get the answer, I will ask you that question so you can answer to what the people have said. All right? Is it clear for everyone? So the first question was, what's your definition of a privilege? And can you list the privilege that you benefit from? All right. So people resume it as something that you benefit from and others don't. Something that's going to define how we treat you in the society. And if I can make it in one sentence, is something unfair in the story with no good reason, okay? You can have benefit from your social position, and the privilege refers to something structural and not individual. The society is stratified and interplay according to class, gender, and race, okay? When the people list the privilege they benefit from, they say that they can traveling within Europe with the passport easily, and outside Europe with easy visa access. So that's a privilege. Another one is the benefit from social helps and programs. And also the privilege due to the social class and the white privilege. And those 2 privileges have consequences in everyday life. For example, easy access to go to school or university, good and best health services, and also good relation with the social service like police. And they never think about how they look and dress to go for a job, to the bank, or to apply for an apartment. All right. So what I want to highlight for this question is something that one of the girls say about her privilege and how she evolved in that. She said that the society has been built in favor of white people, and that makes her, since her childhood, in something easy, and she gets things easily, like it's normal. And she never had to question herself before being confronting of other people than white. And at the beginning, it was difficult for her to understand that it was not the same for everyone, okay? At that time, she started to have some behavior that we call white fragility, white innocence, because she woke up at an adult age and realized that she had first to accept that she has been grown without having learned about things, about the privilege that make discriminate other people. And the second thing is that she had to accept that she was ignorant, and that she had to sit down and learn, even it was uncomfortable for us. All right. So that was the answer. And now, if we can have as answer from you, Kimiko, how does a Jamaican woman are raised in Jamaica? And if you go deeper, really from early age till when she's a grown woman.
So what's the question? Based on the privilege situation?
Not really the privilege, but more like others a Jamaican woman are raised.
Raised.
Yeah,
okay.
raised.
Wow.
like
I
access
mean,
to school, yeah, society image and everything you can say.
yeah, yeah. We're raised different because you know we have different social class. We have the ghetto, which is considered lower class. We have middle class, and we have the upper class.
Mm-hmm.
So we have that segregation in Jamaica, and I'm sure it's all over the world. But we tend to face that in Jamaica. For my experience, I am a country girl. I was born in St. Anne, and which is the north coast. I don't consider it country anymore because it's well developed. But I was raised in Kingston, and I wasn't raised in the ghetto, so I wouldn't speak off of experience. But I know persons that grew up in the ghetto, and my father and some of my siblings. I spent time with them, and I could see their living situation, and it's pretty difficult as I live in a third world country.
Mm-hmm.
um, no, public schools are free, and we pay for that in our tax. But if you really want to like your child to get a better education or more advanced education, you have to pay a lot of money for them to go to private schools. Um, so that's been a challenge. So growing up, my mom didn't have it so much, so I was going to primary school, basic school, primary school. And sometimes a lot of kids, sometimes all 40 odd children in one classroom. So imagine having 42 children in a classroom is a lot of kids. You don't get so much attention like how you'd get if you were attending a private school. So you really had to be focused. And growing up as um, a lonely child, because my mom had a son before, but he died when he was young. So I've been the only child on my mother's side. So I consider myself like the a loner. So it wasn't so hard for me to be focused.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom, she wasn't rich. She was a housekeeper, and sometimes we lived in some of these houses that she took care of. One of them was Edward Siaga. He's my godfather. Edward Siaga was a prime minister for Jamaica, and I
Okay.
had the privilege of staying with him, but it wasn't because of it wasn't a privileged situation, whereas um it was thrown to me because of any particular reason. My mom worked very hard for that position. So you can gain privilege by working very hard, and people see
Mm-hmm.
your hard work, and you gain that privilege for people to respect you and respect your work and say, hey, you deserve this. You can gain privilege by that as well.
Okay.
I think that. Yes, so my mom gained that position of being the head house keeper for the house, and I lived there in a little room, and I will go to my primary school. Why, for instance, Mr. Siaga children, which is more of a higher class, would go to private schools. However, you could have said I'm brighter than me. I don't know, but I grew up this way. I grew up with a rebellious intention, or a intention to, I don't know if I got it from my mom, but I always have this intention to prove to people that I am just as good as everybody. I'm just as equal, no matter what social crisis you're facing, no matter where you're coming from. Everybody equal. And I didn't understand this so much, but I had it in me growing up. You understand? I couldn't explain it, but that's how I was. So going to primary school, and I'm coming home, and then these white kids like maybe doing their work, and they be like, oh, all fancy and all bright and thing. I was driven to really stay on top of my work so I could be on the same level as them, and up to the point where maybe I even surpassed them when it came down to knowledge, because sometimes my mom would quiz us and quiz me with the other Mr. Siaga children or um grandchildren. And sometimes I would win. I'm just saying, I would give me a money, like a prize, and say, I'll give you guys some money to buy ice cream or something, and I would win. And I was a visual artist. I used to draw a lot, and I used to show in my artwork, and used to love it, and really motivate me to continue and be the best that I could be. So my mom coming from a country, country people's kind of back to basic. And coming to town, them have a saying in Jamaica, country come to town. So me a country come to town to make a better life with me and my mom, or my mom to make a better life for me. So she didn't have no money to bring me to this all top high school, fabulous primary, fabulous prep school. So I went to primary school. When I was living with Mr. Siaga, I went to Providence Primary, which is in the Barbican area.
Yeah.
And his kids were like going, or his family kids were like going to Arden Prep, or you know. So and sometimes his kids would show off on me, and I really had to, I have a higher color skin, and I was a dark girl, housekeeper child. So sometimes they kind of look down on you or tease you or don't look on you as being the same as them. But I just try to stay positive growing up and be on top of everything. And so that's one thing growing up in Jamaica as a female or as a child on the own. It can go through some social issues, some social discrimination, yeah, between our peers. And it affects a lot of people. You just have to be mentally strong. And I got that from my mother. I saw how hard my mother worked, and I took that off of my mom. So I could have gone. There's so much negative that I went through in my life that could have break me, but I choose not to. Even if I was broken for a moment, that I found ways to build me. So it's really tough growing up in this society because, like I said, the different social classes that we have, we tend to discriminate each other, especially the higher class, upper class discriminating the lower class, the ghetto people. For the ghetto people, they probably don't have the privilege of sending their children to school. Because they don't have money to buy uniforms or for lunch. They maybe go to school hungry belly and them don't have nothing to eat. And you know, so if you don't have proper nutrition, you cannot focus as a child and gain certain knowledge that you want. So sometimes them don't go to school, them probably go on the street and beg money or work for money. Because a lot of time when I'm on the street driving and I stop, you have kids coming to me and say, can you buy a chocolate so I can go to school or so? Things like that. As Jamaican, we face a lot of these things. You understand? So you really have to be mentally focused and strong, and it is hard because this society is very distracting. You know, so that's my life growing up. It wasn't easy, but I was put to the test a lot of times. Growing up, I was molested by maybe 2 or more men. One died. But I tried to forget about these things. My mom at the time, she didn't really go to court or go to the police for this because they're scared. She's scared of getting involved with the police and all these things. So a lot of times they're scared. A lot of times the parents are with it. So if they live in the ghetto and they have a don and they have a nice daughter, and maybe she start turning bust little breasts and stuff, then send for your daughter, you know. And if you object to that, they can harm you or your family. So sometimes the mother would send their daughter away to have sexual encounters with these dons or any other men in the community. So you go through this a lot too. Yeah, them sexually issues. Yeah, so when you reach a certain age, like 12, 11, 12, 10, 11, from 9, 10, 11, 12, when you start both big breasts, when you start to puberty, you have older men that trying to come on to you. It could be your uncle, it could be your brother, it could be a cousin, it could be your father. Yes, they do. So sometimes as a child growing up, you don't feel protected. You don't feel protected. You're getting things coming to you left, right, and center. And during this time, you can lose your way because of how society deal with you too. You understand? So sometimes it's
Yeah.
not even the child growing up to be blamed, but oh, society deal with you. This person, sometimes in return, the dons will give the girl or the mother money and things. Yeah, they give them likes, our kinds, money, things. Yeah, so the mothers will keep up with this,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
affects the child. Yeah. In my situation, my mom was scared, and she cussed the guy and him run away and thing. And little after he died, I don't remember how he died, but I put it behind me. But that could have ruined me too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember growing up in school, I was black. Well, most of we in Jamaica is black. There's a time when I stopped perming my hair because well, mother tend to love perm with ear. Them love cream out with kinky ear, so with ear tough and cranky. Bear in mind, these days, you see black women flaunting their natural hair, right? They're finding different ways of styling it, making it curly, locks it, you know, all these things. But back in the days, our mother and our grandmother never knew how to do them stuff there. So them put perms in her hair, or what you call it, the hot comb to
Oh,
straighten
yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they ruined her hair. My hair was so fluffy and long, and my mom cream my hair, and little after my hair just start pick out and part short and part long. And then going to school and people seeing this, they started teasing me. I say, hey, picky your
Okay.
hair, even when I cut off my cream to grow it back, then we call you bald head, or them I call you little boy. And you know, you get teased for these things. My mom cut off my hair because my hair was damaged. And when my hair grew up, my mother cream my hair again. She cream it again. And same situation. And then when I was in fifth form, I was like, I'm not. When I was in fifth form, during my time, my mom went to London to make a better life for me and her. And when I was in fifth form, I decided I'm not gonna cream my hair anymore. So I make my ear grow a little. I'ma cut off the cream ends. I'ma just plait it and left it. And people tease me, but I didn't give a damn. I didn't care. And at that point, I like cut off some of my friends too, and I was just alone. I was eating lunch alone. I was walking alone. I was in the dance club, so I was focusing on my dancing. That motivated me. I think that was my therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and then from them I just grow my locks. I just start growing my natural hair. I grow my locks. I thought it was a better way of growing my natural hair faster. I always wanted long hair. I look there now. I just grow my locks from fifth form till now. And it's rough growing up as a child in Jamaica, really rough. You have to be focused and strong and have good parenting. In Jamaica, we don't have good parenting, especially if you don't have your mom. I grew up without my father. So my mom was my mother and father, and sometimes you can't get that balance in Jamaica. So you as a
Yeah.
child is living in one way. So it did rough. We can't say it easy. It did rough.
Okay.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Kimiko. All right. Perfect. Now that we just have listed the privilege that Europeans have, we can go into the second question, which is a reflection on how those privilege can have a dominant position when they are making tourism in Jamaica, especially when they go to learn dancehall. All right. So the answers are a little bit long, but I decided to put a lot of them because they are really interesting for everyone. So the first answer about the question, which is reflect on the position you occupy as dancehall tourist in Jamaica or in dancehall culture in general if you've never been to Jamaica. And one of the answers was due to this white privilege and the privilege of social class, white women are still in position of power in Jamaica. Even if Jamaica is a black country, they're still in power, which is a paradox, but it's like this. And she put an example. When she go to Jamaica and she decide to go to Lime Key, she will say that she gonna invite some Jamaican and bring them with her. She will carry them. She will pay. She will do everything. So this is a right example to show that even she's not at home, she has a power in other country, because she decides what she want to do, how she gonna pay, and for who she gonna pay. All right. And she mentioned something really interesting that we have to keep in mind. Sometimes those people doing that fall in something that we call white savior, because they have like some kind of pity of the Jamaicans, and that what they bring is like they're never gonna have that from someone else. So it put them in situation of they're gonna save the Jamaicans. The second point is she wanted to keep a culture away from capitalism, because as a tourist, we participate in this capitalist system, which is uncomfortable for her, because she said that the culture don't have to be sold, because in a capitalist system, we say that what you pay give you power to choose and to make judgment. And she used interesting example. The first one is that the people who pay for a trip or a class can complain about the content of the class. Sometimes you have people who say, "How why you using only your moves? I want to learn other moves," or things like this. Or they can complain about the delay, about the rhetoric, which is something which is related to the culture. All right. And the second example, also interesting. She said that this capitalism system creates like a highlight on some moves or creators that created something that have been inspired by a trend of this tourism by European. And the example was the naked boy doing a lot of wavy movements that create a lot of highlights on the crew, to the detriment of some iconic dancer there that have no they have no impact on this evolution. All right. One of the girls said that we need to keep reminding our privilege and never put ourselves on equal level with Jamaicans, and the consequences of that can be our judgment. She said that sometimes we tend to think that the position regarding homosexuality is logic. You know, in Europe, homosexuality is different than in Jamaica, and she said that we forget to understand that the colonial past shape our regards regarding those sexuality, and also regarding the way women perform. She said that first you see them performing in dancehall, you're shocked, but after you have to make an effort to understand why they're acting like this. And the two last points for this question was due to the colonial history, white people tend to be color blinded and think that experiences and tools are universal and normal, okay? Which has a big consequences in the way you get in relations with people, with other female, especially the one of color. And regarding that, regarding the point of Black female, the white women are put in more comfortable position, even they don't want it. And yeah, if you go in Jamaica, in the party or in the streets, you see a lot of attraction going around the white women by the male, in the party by the selector or the video lights. And everything she do is fast legitimate. And so on, the white woman can participate in the invisibility of Black women, okay? And the last thing I want to highlight is the setting scene of Black body attribute on white women and the whole we express femininity. Her opinion was in two dimensions. The first, that it participates to a magnificent tour of the body that don't reflect white body. And the second is that we finally are in an era where Black women attributes like hair, body is quite accepted in the society, and she said that's why white women should take that too, you know. So yeah, Kimiko, if you can answer to this question with how does dancehall tourism affect you, but as dancer, as Black female, as entrepreneur, as ambassador of Jamaica.
Wow. That topic here can be sensitive, you know, but we have to speak about it, you know?
Yeah, we need to speak about it.
All right. How it affect me as a female, as dancer, entrepreneur? Coming from slavery days, you have to remember that Jamaica was a colony of the British of England, and we still answer to the Queen. Our government answered to the Governor General. The Governor General answered to the Queen. So you still see that trace where colonialism is still involved in some way. Yeah. And mental slavery is still there. One of the Bob Marley speaks about it, Teacher Tosh, all our legendary musicians or philosophers, they speak that one of the European aims is to divide and conquer. And that is a very important saying. Divide and conquer. So it's like I could see where when the especially the Europeans start getting involved within our culture, a lot of our crew members, dance crew, were starting to separate and see like Europeans being a part of their new crew or so forth. So them divide Jamaicans and then them put themselves in the picture.
All right.
You could see play out in your eyes, plain and straight. You don't have to be an idiot to as smart as to see that. For me as a female, one of the problems that I have with my Jamaican men, especially the dancers, that we've been dancing our ass off for so many years. We've been showcasing our talents and so, and them they give away half the support of how them they give to the foreigners, because maybe they're white and because that's not the way they're used to dance and know how they're dancing like us. They're fascinated with it. Maybe they have a higher color, so they think they're more beautiful, so they give them more support and bring down our ladies. Maybe stop supporting or bring down your ladies in different ways. That me not go accept. That I would not accept. Even me and some of my dance colleagues fall out or fight or cuss because of the situation. I remember one of my dance colleagues said that look, because she's a girlfriend and she was in the streets and she's a European. She's like, yeah, my girlfriend better than enough of them Jamaican female here. I'm writing Instagram and I say, well, how could you say that when it's the same Jamaican females teaching your girlfriend? Yeah. You understand? You can't do that. You can't put on your black Jamaican girls people because you have a white girlfriend. No, that's not right. I remember him when he never have no white girlfriend and he young and no have nothing and was building himself, and he was around us, right? He was around us building, start getting classes, start becoming a better teacher, working on his craft as a dancer. And then when you get the opportunity now from a white girl who starts support you and file for your visa and opportunity to come Europe and make a better living for yourself, why you start put down the same people them who help build you? That is what I have a big issue with. I don't have no issue with Europeans or foreigners having sexual intercourse or intimate intercourse with us Jamaicans, but still understand where you have come from and don't put down your own people. We have so much worth, and they need to understand where we're coming from and how strong we are and respect what we do. You understand? That's what I have a big issue with. So sometimes, like for me, for instance, when I just started teaching most of the Europeans, because let me tell you, the Japanese and the Japanese mostly were one of our first supporters when it come on to dancehall and dancehall culture. Japanese, them are the first supporters. They will come to Jamaica. Yeah, they were more into sound system, the music, and the dancer. One of our first Japanese queen was Junko. So first supporters of dancehall so it's the Japanese, not the Europeans. Them a little after now, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years ago, we start getting more support from the Europeans. But in a way where we started teaching the culture. But because dancehall don't have no structure or thing, I think they started exploiting this our culture. We don't have a structure, we don't have a association that supports dance in Jamaica. So I think foreigners think that they can do whatever they want with it.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, easily. So that's one of our issues that we as Jamaica need to sort out. Also in the street, I mean, you know, what that means to say white people never have no rhythm, which is true in some way. Never have no rhythm. Couldn't whine like a black African female. We dance totally different. They use the classical ballet, ballroom, dance that upper body up, but we grow into African self and we rotate and so we move totally different from white people. So when you start seeing white people actually gravitating to this and catching it really well, and you say, wow, Jamaicans are astonished because they've never seen this before. It's like, wow. So nothing is wrong with that. They're like, wow, these white people can dance, man. Them are go on, you understand? So that's what the excitement is about in the parties and the streets or so. So that is understandable. That's nothing you can frown upon. Because even when we saw Russians doing dance and we're like, what? Russians? Like, wow, it's amazing. We felt really good. But at the same time, when them start feel like so them can come size up with it and disrespect me, like if they take my class 2 or 3 times and them start teaching me moves, or they stop coming to my class because they think so they make it, or them have a Jamaican boyfriend where them can get free classes from, or so them start like, well, like said them better than you, or they don't need to take your class anymore. Maybe they don't need to call you in the parties anymore because they have like Jamaican boyfriend. Right. That is what we have a problem with when you think that, oh, you make it, oh, you're a part of us now, so you feel like you don't need to have respect no more, you need to size up with it. That is what I have an issue with, mostly. So respect always due. Respect always due. Another thing is like if they have a boyfriend, so say they have a young dancer that's coming up in the scene, but has no experience, has no knowledge of and history of the dancehall or Jamaican culture, has no experience in dance, and you know, so it's a process. You know, just turn teacher so mighty. You can't be a ballet. You can't learn ballet one time and turn a ballet teacher. Same thing applies for African. Same thing applies for dancehall. So when you bring this young dancer, inexperienced dancer on tour now, I said tour, it causes enough issues. One of the issues is that them probably sell their classes for little to no money, little than what the culture is really worth. I've seen where them even beg people to come to the class for €5. So that is embarrassing. Me, Orvin Expression, Latanya, Stacey Expression, and other veterans out there who've been busting their ass for so many years and trying to represent the culture on a higher platform, going to see this. That's going to diminish our worth.
Yeah.
Our whole hard work that we've done for so many years, that diminish our culture 100%. So you have to look at them things there. Sometimes people think for themselves, but them to stop be selfish and think about the culture. If you really love the culture so much, do the right thing. If it was me, I would be like, baby, get some experience, start teaching some classes, start doing this, start doing that, gain some experience. Let the people see your true potential and your true talent. And then when them start reach a certain level now, you put them on a tour. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong if you bring a boyfriend and girlfriend on a tour. But just do it moderately and the right way. You understand?
Yeah.
So that diminish our thing. When them start teaching properly, don't know how to break down a movement properly, or even teach a proper 1.5 hour class and engage your interest for that whole 1.5 hour. You understand? So the man look at you and say, oh, these Jamaican dancers can't teach them flop. And then now I'm gonna say you alone can't teach them. I'm gonna say the Jamaican dancers and the Jamaican, yeah, that put a whole other things on how we as Jamaican and our culture too. You have to look on that. You understand? Another thing, this young dancer may come up now and not used to certain things. He's coming from the ghetto, he's not used to these fancy things that's around him. Maybe his hand that's a little bit nimble, so maybe he steals from different promoters, or he's disrespectful to the different promoters, or my son, or they have bad experiences with these different promoters because they are inexperienced. So a lot of these issues, me here, Europeans are talking the left, right, and center. I'm not making these up. People talk. So all this is because the dancer that you're bringing is not experienced, is not ready. So then stuff to the whole problem, and it adds to our culture as a dancer, because that is one of the things that affects me as a dancer and as a cultural ambassador, because when I'm going out there, you know, I'm going out there to showcase my dancer and make sure it's on a high platform for people to go, wow, and have goosebumps when them dancers say, oh, Kimiko, we love your class. It's top level. We have to match up to different teachers out there, well-experienced teachers out there that's been teaching before us and things. So we have to put the thing on so we as cultural ambassadors, if we put the thing on a nice platform and it building and building, as a young man will come and start interrupt the thing, it just go diminish, which I've been seeing. This year has been my 6th Europe tour. Now one dancer, one promoter ever complain about my work and about my my knowledge, the knowledge that I transfer to the dancers, and just how I bring myself. Even when I'm in there, say, Kimiko, we're coming for you at 9 o'clock to go for a class. I'm in the lobby by 8:30 waiting or so. When they come like, wow, you're here. I'm like, yes.
That's true.
They were so frightened because they're like, the Jamaican guys that we used to work with are so you have to wait an hour for them and this and that. It's like, really? So you have to get certain discipline and certain knowledge before you start off with this. So things like this affect the thing. As a entrepreneur, what we would love if dancers all over the world could come to Jamaica and support the true culture. The true culture is only found in Jamaica. The dancehall setting, the not meeting the legendary dancers and the creators that makes up all this culture, the knowledge, and just see Jamaica for what it is and see what influences us to build certain dances or to act a certain way. So like you may have a foreigner over there that's still on YouTube and do that and they're like, oh, what is this? Blah blah blah. But then they understand the African. As an Africa, we have taboos in different cultures. You see, I studied Jamaican folk form as well because I attended Enemani College, and that's where I gained most of my dance knowledge and history of Jamaica. So we teach Kumina revival, Dinky Midi, everything. You see, in Dinky Midi or in Kumina, you have a certain part where the man and the woman dance together and they whine together. And do some, you know, some song. We dance with men a certain way. When the spirit take you and you go down low and then something that it just captivated and it's nice to dance with that man and thing. So that coming from our Jamaican folk form into dancehall, you can see that, but it's more of a taboo way. Sometimes it's even more detrimental. Okay, you can see people jump off a rooftop or so, which I don't necessarily support because people tend to hurt themselves, but in every culture you have taboos, and that is one of our taboo in dancehall. So you have to just understand where it's coming from. Don't mean that you should accept it, but just understand and be like, okay, this is not for me. You have some Europeans come, them see people, them see where do it, them wrong go do it, and them go back to Europe with a ruptured spine, a broke foot, or a broke hand. Cause sometimes them too enough. Sometimes when you come to a culture, you analyze and see how things go before you jump into certain things. You understand? Yeah. Sometimes them come and them go and I say them want hey Goldie. Sometimes them come here and go and I say them want. Yeah, we know this. We know how this go and jump in and them embarrass themselves. So when you just come into a space, it's good to respect that space and to say, oh, this is how it goes. Okay, you know, I respect the dancers. That don't mean you can't come dance and showcase yourself and dating because we are the ones that's actually teaching you guys. So eventually not go want to show off, want to learn, nothing wrong, but still have respect for the dancers. So go back to the entrepreneur with a love if the dancers come to Jamaica to really support, give back to dancers, give back to our communities because we as Jamaicans don't have so much privilege. We have to work extra hard. So that's why we do so much hustling.
Yes.
The dancer, we don't get recognition as a dancer, as a career. First of all, when I was going to study dance, my mom was like, what? We can't do dancing. What? None of our parents support us if we tell them so we'll become dancers or dance teachers or none. It's just no when them see we tour the world and think my mother is the biggest support and the proudest mom right now. You can ask her. But I had to show that to her. I wasn't gonna gain that. I had to show that to her. I was but blood, sweat and tears and thing. I got my Bachelor of Finance in Choreography and Performance and a diploma in production, theater production. And thing and my ass off, yeah. I have to wear my ass off. And then no, after that, I have to go dance all every night. For sure them to gain respect from these ghetto people because ghetto people never accept you like that. You have to show them raw talent. So me can't go in and get a space and say, oh, I'm a trained dancer. No. I have to show them a real Racha version of me and they say, yeah, that girl they are dancer. So even we have to gain the respect to from our own people. So same as partners, them have to gain the respect to. As a woman now, my father was a renter dread. I'm not afraid to say that. A renter dread in Jamaica is when Europeans, back in the days, we had mistresses who had hostels or motels that would get men, Jamaican men, to sleep with these European women that came down for vacation. Okay. Yes, if you read back in the 60s or so, yeah, we had that. So we call them renter dread. My father was a renter dread, a Rasta man, and him always there with white people, mostly Europeans, because he was always on the beach, and you know he's a musician now, but he like hustling and always meet some white woman and thing and he was with my mom at the time and I mean when I was old enough to understand I was looking back and I was like what's wrong with my mother because she black? You know he never support me growing up as a child so I felt very neglected.
Yeah. Sorry to disturb you. If it cuts I will save it and we go back, okay? I have 1 minute.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, 1 minute. So I can cut off.
Yeah, I cut it now. All right.
Yeah, cut it. Come back on, guys. Come back on.
See you. Are you sure that you want to end? Okay, so welcome back, guys. Welcome back or welcome if you just joined. Coucou Laura, je t'envoie plein de bisous et d'ondes positives. Yeah, so if you just joined, we're going to continue the discussion with Kimiko, all right? She was... Coucou petite Kenza. Yeah, she was talking about her experience and how does dancehall tourism affect her. All right, let's welcome her. Coucou Ronel.
Yes.
All right.
I hope all you French people and Spanish people can understand my Creole. I'm sorry, but
If not,
I can't
they're gonna
speak
learn
English
it's
all the
part of your
time.
culture. So they're
I
gonna
don't know if
learn.
everybody understand it. Maybe you have to translate after this, Mighty.
No, but it's really clear. Trust me.
Okay.
Trust me. Some of them have been used to Colo Colo, so I think you is perfect. You know?
Hey, if you can't understand color, you can't understand anybody.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay, color is like my dad's father, man. When
Yeah.
I'm talking, like, look on the ticket here. It is stop the night. Cause me remember when you used to come half a tree and come down to the ticket
Oh,
sale.
okay.
It's
Okay,
okay,
that's
daddy.
fine.
Okay, daddy.
Okay, that's cool because you know when I see him, he's always no, Maite. Those people you don't go. That's true. That it's true. It never said. It never say okay, you can go to Kimiko.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Color
Yeah, yeah.
man, you have to respect the legendaries no matter what, because of them people that help with dance up. No matter if they're not making the money, if they do have money to do nothing, they will walk to the party.
Exactly.
Just to free up their minds. We have a lot of social issues, so just to free up the minds and just feel empowered and to
Yeah.
connect with your peers is amazing.
So true.
Yes, I was saying that my father, so
Yeah.
with that, I felt like my mom wasn't good enough, even though they weren't together, but because he was always with white women, I felt like inferior, like what's wrong with this what wrong with black woman, and my mother supported so much and is so hardworking. But I realized it's for opportunity because our culture, our society is so hard. And the men want a better life or a better opportunity, so or more privilege. So they tend to go ahead with these white women to up them life,
All
basically.
right.
So I try to cover all the aspects that he asked me as an entrepreneur, as a black woman, and as a
Yeah.
dancer. Yes.
And does it affect you in your daily life? Like when you have to work with singer, do you have special requirements? Or you can do whatever you want, or like you obligated to have a certain level of white people?
When I'm doing a class, I do anything I want. I tell them what I'm going to teach them because I'm a teacher. Only thing, if I'm doing a private class, which is one person, I ask them, what do you want to learn from me? Because it's
Okay.
them alone. So maybe they want a specific, like they're not good at whining, or they want to learn my move, or they want to learn old school or so. I will give them that privilege, yes. But when I am doing a class, a full class, what I tend to do is know who I'm going to teach first. So I know that, okay, these are French girls, beginners, or these are intermediates or advanced. That helps me to know what to teach to them so that they can be engaged throughout. So as a teacher, it's good to know your audience so that you can deliver
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
best way. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Before I'm going on the third question, does Chicha is there? Because I didn't see her tune in. I just want to make sure she's here so she can make the follow-up. And if you guys have any question during what she's saying or me saying, you can always put your question down and we can answer it, okay? So after saying all this, we're going to the third question. Chicha is there. All right, perfect. Because I realized that all those female dancehall movement bring a lot of, confidence in European women, and a lot of female empowerment movement going on everywhere. So I wanted to speak about two concepts that exist today, which is, did you ever heard of womanism? And what's the difference between feminism and womanism? You see, Chicha, I made the effort. So womanism is a theory that holds that femininity and culture are equally important in woman existence, all right? Femininity can be derived from a culture. So this theory embraces a concept called intersectionality, and intersectionality was created to understand how oppressive structures like racism, classism, and sexism are inseparable from people identity and experience. And those theories came alive after the first wave of the feminism activism, because the feminism activism had no place for women of color. Like, they were not seen as feminine in some way as the white. So it comes to what you said before. So there were a problem of inclusion, and the second wave of feminism, Chicha said that it's a concept created by a Black woman, by the way.
Really? Feminism or womanism?
Womanism.
Okay.
Yeah, because the feminism at the beginning didn't see the Black girl, as feminine as the whites. And the second wave of feminism were color blinded. So they were ignorant about the race, and they were just focused on gender fights. So because of this, intersectionality. I will tell that after. So because of this disconnection, it leads to a third wave. But the some womanists tell that it's not a third wave, it's something really are proud of it, and creates what we call womanism, and another concept, intersectionality. All right. And if we can resume womanism in one quote, beautiful quote, it's womanism is to feminism as purple is to lavender. All right. So going to that, Kimiko, to give an idea to the people, can you explain us what's for you having a Black identity, and how does it translate that in your daily life?
Yeah. Wow, we as Jamaicans lost our identity as Black people, first of all. We don't know where we come from. We don't know the strength that we possess. First of all, when I was going to school, they made it seem like we came from slavery. It's just now during this pandemic, when I'm really going into Black history. Well, my father always taught me this, but when you see it on TV, like they show Cleopatra and Nefertiti, so they show them in a white image. But really and truly, these were Black kings and queens, Shaka Zulu, the one of them Black kings and queens. We did not learn this in school. They start teaching us about slave trade and blah, blah, Black as slaves. So me who feel like you grew up as a slave, you come from a slave society. That's how the white supremacy made us feel. Remember, we were British colony, so our co-curriculum is coming from the British system.
Mm-hmm.
So we learned a lot of European history as Jamaicans. So we learned about Tom Proust, Christopher Columbus, William Shakespeare, blah, blah, blah. You can name it. And when it comes to Black history, mostly when a Black history, then teach we look about with 7 national heroes, Marcus Garvey, Nani and the Maroon, Paul Bogle, etc. But then they really go in depth and teach us how we were kings and queens before Christ, how we were the first masons and mathematicians, physicians, We built pyramids. We recreated tremendous armies. They didn't teach us this as Black people. So we lost our identity. We were learning Western history from colonization, from slavery, come up colonization and them something there. So we lost our Black history, our identity completely. We as Black people bleach out with skin because we think that Black is ugly. Them sure when even their Christianity, I didn't understand that Christianity is coming from our white slave masters, that they were put onto the Black slaves. Yes, if you research Christianity, it was the religion of the white man, the white slave master them. And then bring it on Black people. Black people have a different way of worshiping. You understand? And then make it seem like, say, if they brought, every time going to church, I could always imagine this white God, this white man, this white man, every time. So you feel say God is white. And then something, and anything dark, like them show you a Black Satan. So then and there, could see say, white people are godly, and the Black Satan, them sure, is evil and bad, which really represent us because we're Black. So we lose our identity completely from schools. They've been lying to us. They've been lying to us, Western people, from way back. And it's just no, as adults, me I try to keep up with my Black as a Black diaspora. I try to keep up with the real Black history and knowledge of who I am, where I'm come from, and what I possess as a Black person. A lot of us are lost, especially as Jamaicans. We're lost. So we're bleach ourselves, we're female to wear, we're wearing all these wigs. Me not bun it out because me a Rasta, but me not bun it out, but it's just to show you that we're not happy with what we have and who we are as Black people. We can our natural hair, so we're gonna make it nice and curly. Right now, if me cut out my locks and you want beat a afro, make it curly and nice and that little kinky curly stuff. Yeah, but more women would just go for the wigs and the braids and things. Me not lash out against it, because everybody have their own style, opinion, but it's just showing you mentally what they have done to us, to not appreciate what we have and who we are as Black people. We're so lost. And what's his name? He did a thing and he said slavery would affect we as Black people up to 400 years, and he's right. It is still affecting us. So and I didn't even know that feminism was like created for white people, because me ready to say, yeah, I didn't really say I'm a feminist. I was always like, it's all about woman power, pum pum power, me call it as a Jamaican. You know me a rebel, me have that rude thing there to me. So me that's a pum pum power. But it really involves like we as female being strong in who we are and confident and very free. Hello. And we come say hi, man. You will want to say hi.
Hello.
My beautiful, my handsome son. So we lost completely, mighty. Me have to say, we as Black people were lost, and it's up to us to find ourselves and love our brothers and sisters. We're so against each other. I've experienced it in my dance career. Our own people, our dancers don't support each other. That's one of the reasons why I created that Versatile ones, to support each female. And I made it specifically a female group, because the dancer space is dominated by males. The females are not so much together, and that's one of the reasons why I created Versatile ones as a collaborating group to support each other. And right now, Versatile ones are kick Sarah Bendy, I kick them left, right, and center. Chini Unique, myself, you have Rita Versatile, I have Janelle Sottins, I have Quasia, and you have other people that pass through, like Tara Telbo, who is dancing for the Lion King in Scotland now. You have Deandra, who is doing a Europe tour with a group that dances in different states. and stuff like that. So positive things are coming out of this group, and it's hard work and discipline and getting along with everybody, but it is worth it. It
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
very worth it. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
but
but if I can go
yeah.
ahead. If I can tell you something, don't worry, because as Aisha say below, like the Black history, it's the same worldwide. Unfortunately, me too. I know that Chicha too. A lot of people we had to learn about our own story when we
Hmm.
were like 30 years old. You know, so
Right.
it's that's why it's a reason why I want to introduce that kind of talk and you know go through deep dig deep into what's it's the real history to make people aware about the do. And this feminism thing, it's really important because I heard a lot of women, especially in dancehall, say, "Oh, I'm empower female. I'm a I'm a feminism." But do you know that the person who inspire you, you don't empower her, because with your movement you don't include her,
They
you
don't
know. So
they don't tag you and say, "Hey, creator." When they teach in their class, they probably don't say, "Hey, I'm teaching based on what I've learned from these creators. Go out and check out their work if you get the opportunity. Go to
yeah,
Jamaica and learn from these original source." A lot of
yeah.
people don't do that. They just come back. They just spend 2 weeks in Jamaica and come back and like, "Hey, advertise the class," and just do it. I don't even mention
Hmm.
anything. A lot of that goes on.
Yeah,
A lot of
and
that
it, yeah, and the
yeah,
thing that we have said, yeah,
mm-hmm.
the thing what we have said before, because I think it's good to go to Jamaica, definitely to give support. But the problem is that if people don't deconstruct their mind and how they think as a white way, they will never be able to give respect as they should, you know.
They
So
should, yeah.
that's why it's important, to deconstruct themselves and understand their own history. Because even white people, we don't teach that at school.
Yeah, they
When
don't
I
know the
was at
history of
school,
the truth.
yeah,
Yeah.
I live in a white country, and at school they never told them that colonization was not good. They say it's a good thing, colonization, because we bring to the people, a better way of life. So even the
Like
white people, they need to understand them
go
the
back.
whole history before
Wow,
being
yeah,
able to show respect to
yeah.
Jamaica.
They've been lying to everybody. Them paint a pretty picture, but it's not
Yeah,
how it really goes. Yeah, it's not the same
exactly.
like when teacher said Christopher Columbus discovered. Christopher Columbus never discovered shit when you have indigenous people that was already.
Destroy everything.
So things like this, like we have to go back for ourselves and really find out the true history. I mean, I'm not against white people. I love everybody. But even white people, like you said, need to understand the true history of how everything goes. Not everybody, a lot of white people have never been through any, what you call it, social colonism, or ever experienced anything reflecting this. So it's good to understand from different perspectives, so that maybe you can change the way you think and how you were taught, because sometimes they've been lying to us for so many years. So it's up to us and our generation to really change certain things and make it a better place.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly. Claudie.
Probably, I said I knew one teacher who said she was teaching us dancers, so we don't need to go ourselves and get robbed. I didn't go again. Oh my God, get robbed! Oh my! What a calamity, Pawi!
You see,
Mm-mm.
that's crazy everywhere. That's why we need to, to educate them
Wow.
ourselves.
So
Yeah.
you're learning dancehall, and your teacher learn dancehall from Jamaica, and them say, "Oh, don't go there. We will teach it to you." This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Cultural misappropriation. Them
Mhm.
things that cultural misappropriation. The higher society taking from the lower or the less privileged source and taking it and capitalizing on it. That's an example of cultural misappropriation. And that's one of the other things that I was always complaining about. But it's up to you as a person to really find knowledge yourself. You may have a good teacher and thing, but it's always good to find the knowledge for yourself. You know what I mean?
Thank you, Kimiko. I don't know if someone have a last question. You can put your question if you have one last question. And Chicha, let me know if you're ready.
If white people take this badly, it means they know they're not doing their homework. Yeah. Wicked Class, you know you're a white girl, I'm a love you girl because you're supportive. It doesn't have nothing to do with white, black hate white, hate. For us to understand each other and know what people been doing wrong and how to make it better, how to fix things. You don't know because not everybody gonna know. And everybody gonna know, you know, sometimes it's good to accept your wrongs and say, hey, I was doing this the wrong way and I understand now, let me make it right. Because nobody's perfect. It's the same thing with black people. Sometimes when you guys as foreigners come to Jamaica, them deal with a certain way, them not on time for class, they maybe try to rob you, like what she said, but rob in a way where maybe charge you more than, you know, what is average, or try to use you for different things. So it goes both ways. Everybody have to play them parts and just do the right damn thing. Him discover how to profit from our color. Our color, but they're so right. Jabizi.
As well, people need to know. Yeah, that's great.
Alright, so I know she liked because my friend went after a couple weeks. And she was okay, right? I felt robbed though. You were robbed of the right knowledge. Please comment about daggering. What you want me to say about daggering, Doris? What do you want me to say? Nettie. Big up yourself, Netta. That's my dancehall queen, Finland. Yes, we as white people need to learn and listen. With Wicked Claude, much love. You always so inspiring and strong. Big up. We all need to artists, good and bad, and be true and stop being hypocrites. Yeah, I hate hypocrites. I'm allergic to hypocrites, and my aura pick them up quick. My aura pick them up quick. Go through.
No one has other question.
Someone was asking about daggering, but I don't know what you know specifically about daggering.
Okay, so she can still, you know, write it. If you want to say some last something, Kimiko, I don't know, and then I can make a conclusion and you know, leave you with your beautiful family.
I mean, thank you, Mighty, for this type of interview, because I've been doing some interview, but all of them is different. But I like this one mostly because it tapped into the black culture, and dancehall is coming from a black culture, so it's good to analyze from a black perspective. Most of the persons that were doing the interview were white, from the white, so they look on things in a different way. So I'm really glad you did this interview with me, so could analyze and understand more about black identity and us as black people, and what offends us and what's wrong from right. You know, so I really I'm happy from that. I hope nobody's offended. Just speaking based on my experience and based on what I've been seeing that's going on since dancehall is evolving, and you know I'm a part of that evolution. So me have to talk the things them. Yeah, talk. We have to talk. And I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk about the right thing. I'm a soul rebel, and I have to just talk what's right and try to fix things. So thanks again for doing this interview with me, Mighty, and everybody.
Welcome. Thanks to you
listening to us. You know.
Yeah. Someone asked a question. I don't know if you want to answer before I'm going to the conclusion.
What do you think about white girls doing braid? Nothing is wrong with that. Come on, black people wear straight ear. If you like it, you just like it, and you can do it. I mean, maybe we can't stop you from, if you like something that's black oriented, I don't see where there's a rule that you not to do what black people do. I don't see a rule that says that. You understand? If you like it, you like it. If people ask you why you do it, you just speak about it. You be like, oh, this is influence from black people. This is the way they do it here. I like it, and I just want to try it because it's beautiful. Simple. And me as a black person, I gonna feel good. I'm gonna say, wow, she thinks it's beautiful. You know, maybe that motivate me to even do my hair like that some more, or motivate a black girl who thought that braids is ugly. So we can't stop you guys from doing it. It's just that to give respect and say, hey, this is influence from this identity, and the reason why I love it, and you know, just to empower each other, empower. Don't do it and be like, oh, it looks better on me, and you know, that's where we start feeling inferior and start feel like we're less than who we are, because you know that it's coming from a black society. So it's always good to like just give respect and acknowledge that it's from this, you know, type of people.
Yeah, the only thing I want to add in this is that there is nothing like, there is no clear rule. You can do braids, you cannot do that. You can you know, you can have a tattoo with Jamaica there, you can speak patois. There is no rule. But the thing is, I think it's a whole package, you know.
Yeah.
The braids that we do have a meaning. So be aware about that. There is a meaning why we're doing that, and some of them are related again to the colonization, because some of them represent the, you know, the freedom where the slavers where can feel free. So some of them you know, are really rooted in history.
In
So it's just,
history, yeah.
yeah, take a whole
So it's good
package.
to know
It's nothing
what
wrong
it
if you do
represents.
poets because you like it once and things, but if you do it like on every day, or every time you having black things, for me it's kind of a problem, because yeah, you need to find your
I
identity
think it's
on to
good to
that.
know the history behind it, and to
Yeah.
say, hey, okay, you know, and also like locks, for locks, like when I see some white people doing locks, I feel away. I'm like, why did you do locks your hair? For style, that no enough, because there was a time when them used to hold the Rasta man and cut off them locks, you know. They used to cut off the locks off a Rasta man because they found it ugly and dirty and things. The Rasta man grow them here because it's their roots. It's your roots, you know. It's your roots, and your roots give life, and it's fruitful. So it's good to understand before you run go do certain things, because people can get offended, yes, and especially if you feel like you're exploiting our culture, and it's not everything is fashion or whatever it is. They're statements. So it's always good to analyze and respect and know what you're really doing.
Yeah. So as teacher said, if somebody is offended, then that means that they still have more work to do, because we have talked about the privilege and stuff. So if someone feel offended, maybe try to work on yourself. All right. And
Yeah.
to answer to Twerkology Nation, yeah, the live will be saved 24 hours, and then I will save it on my YouTube channel too. All right. Big up Twerkology Nation, because she have done a lot of good things also for Black culture and Black people. So big
Yeah,
up
big up
yourself.
for collagenation.
And then there were other questions.
I think that's it.
Yeah. All right. So let me conclude with the conclusion made by our wonderful teacher that you still don't see, but she's there because she was working. After going over the meaning of privilege and listening to the privilege white women benefit from, we turn to the Black Jamaican woman experience. Kimiko explained her own experience and highlighted the segregation that exists between the different social classes in Jamaica, ghetto, middle, upper. as well the existing colorisms, higher color scheme favorites, and the social discrimination between peers. She concludes that Jamaicans have to work hard to attain privilege. When we went into dancehall tourism and how it can enforce colonial power dynamics in Jamaica, Kimiko then talked about how dancehall tourism affect her as Black woman dancer and entrepreneur. She made the constatation that colonialism and mental slavery are still very much current in Jamaica, and develop into the behaviors of certain Europeans really boils down to divide the conqueror. She shared her perspective on the experience of Black women in the dance hall and get half the support the white woman gets. She has been putting down and disrespected by their own brothers, especially when they have white girlfriends that can take them on tours. She points out the exploitation of the dancehall culture that happened on the part of foreigners and explain how young, inexperienced dancers going on tour and teaching prematurely give a bad reputation to Jamaican dancer in general. And then we finally went into feminism and womanism and underlined that the importance of knowing our history, be it a Black people or white people. Kimiko feels that as Black people, we lost our identity because we weren't taught our history, and she said that we need to educate and uplift ourselves and also denounced cultural misappropriation. All right? So let's finish on a beautiful quote, everyone, by Winnie Edo Lodge. If feminism can understand the patriarchy, it's important to question why so many feminists struggle to understand whitenesses as political structure in the very same way. All right. So thanks everyone for joining this live. Thanks Chicha for the work you have done in backward. I love you so much. And thanks Queen Kimiko. You're really an inspiration for her, Black woman. So really thank you. And
thank you. And I want to say, guys, I have a modus challenge on my page. Modus, I think is German. It means mood. So go attempt my modus challenge, guys. It's really fun and effective, and I'll be tag me in it, and I will post it. It's amazing. Check it out. Okay, all 28 of you.
And when you back at classes, when you go back to teach classes online?
I am going to teach, is it this Friday? This Friday with Afro, oh my God, I forgot the name.
Oh, I see the
Afro. Yeah, they're based in Colombia.
Oh.
So that's my first class, and then I have a couple class next week with Belly House on the 29th. I have a lecture on the 24th with Connected Vibes. And I have a dance class on the 25th with Jungle Studio from Australia. And then I'm going to start at my free classes on Fridays starting next month of April, and my online private class on Zoom next month. So look out for it.
Great, thank you. So guys, make sure you follow all the versatile ones, because as she said, they are all amazing. And yeah, make sure that you join Kimiko's class. Thank you again, Kimiko.
Big up Versatile Ones family from South America and Jamaica. I love you guys. And thank you so much for the support throughout the years. And you don't know you have my support. Mike, big up yourself, and I hope to see you in Jamaica.
Big up yourself, yeah. I hope you too.
Pandemic. Come back to Jamaica soon, guys.
Big kiss to your son.
Yes, thank you.
Big kiss to your son and to your mom, all right?
Thank you, darling.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Ciao. Stop watching films now. I'm out. We're out, everybody. 1, 2, 3, out. Yeah, my team. Later, mama.
Bye.